Salam, Salam, the Kike Sena, better Israel. In all four corners of the earth, I send my greetings from a royal court in Toyando, in the neighborhood, in the vicinity of Sena 4, which will be called Rabu Sena, the place of our sojourn of the great exodus of all the Kike, which means the progeny or the children of better Israel from Sena, Yemen, by origin. I send my greetings. This is His Majesty King Binyam Selamun of Sena, better Israel, speaking to you. I send my greetings to all children of Israel in all parts of the world, wherever they are, sending these warm greetings of Salam, as we know that the greeting is Salam, from the royal court. So we are proud to address all children of Israel in all four corners of the earth today, or this evening rather, to bring in a new message to you all. The message of Salam, the message of happiness, and the message of victory that not long ago had we released 2 books to add on to a book series of Sena's Tsihuf, which means the literature of Sena. On Amazon, this has been running on for quite some time now. And we would like to bring in 2 more new books that had been released. These books have been running on Amazon, and people have been clicking on the link to get them ordered from Amazon, to get orders from Amazon of these books that have been released. They've been running on for a long, long time now. It's been so many months, but we have not had the opportunity to present the books, the hard copies of these books, to show everyone else that the books are real and that these books are now here from the printers. They're now here in the royal court in Toyando, of the royal court of the Sena Kingdom, and we would like to introduce to show everybody that the books are here. So first of all, we had released a book, the Book of Henoki. As you know, that there is the Book of Henoki in our canonical books of the Majesty, which is the holy book of Sena Beta Israel, which some people will think is the Bible, but we do not use the word Bible in description of the scriptures or the holy book of the Israelites, the Sena Beta Israelites from Yemen, from Sena, Yemen. And so we would like to bring that, introduce you, launch this book here on the video, and we'll put the link below so that you can get yourself a copy. When you click on that and just follow the instructions and get yourself a copy of this book. The first book that was released not long ago was the Book of Henoki, which is Enoch in English, but the name is Henoki, because we have the syllable from the main syllograph ha. Yeah, so therefore in this way, engage. And so in this way we introduce you. We started off with the paperback format of the Book of Henoki. That looks like this. The Book of Henoki looks like this. As you can see, we have shown the astronomical photographing of this, that Henoki is talking about the wisdom, not only the wisdom of words and things, but it's also the wisdom of the stars in the universe and the astronomy of the children of man. So in this way we will show the stars, we will show the universal cosmic qualities, cosmic elements. And so on the side, this is the back side of the book. As you can see, there's a big planet there. There's a big planet there, On the side here, there is a big planet that you can see here. Enoch is talking about the greatest things. And then if you look in the back, you see it reads that the Book of Enoch, the noblest of all men, the teacher of all the earth, who wrote all the teachings of wisdom. So therefore we are praising him, our hero, Henoki of Sena, better Israel. Now we would like to bring you to the awareness that there are so many books out there that is called Book of Enoch, but will not be the Enoch that is from better Israel Enoch. So we have to be very careful that we do not have the Enochs that other people have just created. They just invented another Enoch. And so you'll find many books called the Books of Enoch. They may not be speaking about our character. So this book is about Enoch, the true Enoch, which is the better Israel Enoch, the Ethiopian Enoch. So the only Enoch that is the true Enoch is the Ethiopian Enoch. Any other Enoch is not the true Enoch in the sense of the character of Israel by that name. So therefore in that form, we really need to get everyone aware that Enoch can only be the true Enoch if it is an Ethiopian Enoch. So that is a fact, and we want everyone else to be sure of this and to be proud that this is our hero we're speaking of. So if there's any other Enoch, it's not ours. Ours has to be the Ethiopian one. Thank you very much. This is very important, and we have the format, the paperback format on this end, and then we have the hardcover format. As you can see, this is quite harder than the other one. And this is the hardcover one. As you can see, the formatting is the same. We reveal the stars, we reveal the cosmic elements, the cosmic things. And then is the noblest of all men again, teacher of all earth, writer of all teachings of wisdom. So we must understand that this Enoch, the noblest of all men in our history, had written books also that he passed on to the generations of his generations that emerged from him, and the lineage of Enoch, of the righteous man. So there were righteous men, and there were those men that were not righteous, and they did not present the truth of the Most High of Israel. So in this way, Enoch himself had written books, and these books were passed on to another righteous man by the name Nohe. Nohe is what we call Noah, the one who built the ark, and Noah built the ark and saved his family and his innocent animals from the flood that happened. So therefore, the Book of Enoch is here to give wisdom and to write books. The books that were written by Enoch had passed on to the generation of another righteous man, Noah, who also passed them to the generations, the people, who also righteous people. So this is very important. His children, the righteous lineage, got the books that were written by Enoch. So the books of knowledge, the books of wisdom, and the book about the cosmic manifestation and the greatness of the Creator of Israel, the Holy One of Israel. So this book is a must because it shows and tells about the right Enoch, who is the Ethiopian Enoch. Enoch has to be the Ethiopian one. The name Henoki is right here in Ge'ez. Yes, this is very important. So then after the release of this book, and we're so glad that we have this book, it is also complemented or even written by the same author and went down the generations to know her. There is a book called the Book of the Great Army of Eli Amelaki. Amlak is the Almighty Creator. So in this form, we have a book that talks about his great army. Yeah, this is the book of beginnings, to tell the story of creation, or even before the creation that we know. We have this book to tell us about pre-creation events, and what we will call pre-creation, because you have read in your Bibles about the creation of man, the creation of the earth, the creation of the stars and everything else on the 6 days, and then on the 7th day the Almighty rested and declared it as a resting day of the Sabbath, or the Sabbath day, to become a day of rest where nobody has to do any work in Israel. So this book tells more than what you have read in your Bibles. It actually predates the so-called Book of Beginnings that you find in the Bible, the Book of Genesis. It talks about what the things that are written in the Book of Genesis, what happened before those things were narrated, and before those things happened or were created. So it's like a pre-creation according to Genesis, but this is the real Book of Beginnings. Yeah, because it talks about the 7 heavens and the 100 worlds underneath them. It talks about the names of the sun, who Enoch also talks about. What is the name of the sun that provides the sun for us? This is a whole astronomy that is involved in this book. It shows the planets too. So you can see on the back, you can see the planetary systems. As you know, we do have a planetary system, the universe, that where we live now, of the Earth. And you know that NASA has said that there were 9 planets before, and then it was later, noted that actually they reduced to 8 planets in our universe. But according to our astronomy in Sena and Beta Israel, there are 12 planets in our universe. Yeah, not to mention the other planets under other heavens, because there are 7 heavens. And so therefore our heaven is called Iori. Iori. This is where the name Jerusalem comes from. It means the peace of the first heaven, Iori, because there are 7 heavens. He talks about those 7 heavens and explains them in full, in descriptions of the circles of these heavens, the regions of these heavens, and how many planets does each heaven have underneath it. So this is a whole astronomy about the creation of Eli the Amlaki, Eli the Almighty. Amlaki is what we will call God in English, while Eli means the Almighty One, the Almighty Power. This is the name of the Creator according to the Ge'ez language. Yeah, and then in this book, we have the stories told properly, even though it speaks about the pre-creation, before the things that you read in the book of Genesis of the Bible. It even goes further than talks about the creation of man, Adam, the creation of man, Adam, and his wife, Hewani. Yeah, the name of the woman is Hewani, that they have changed to Eve in English. As I said before in all my writings, that you do not translate names. It is inappropriate to translate names. The names must be in the original language in which they were given. They should not be translated. So that man was called Adami, but before he was called Adami, he was called Adamieli Kiru, which means that was his name in the original language that he was given. The original language was Suba, and then from Suba it became Ge'ez. So we'll understand the transition here and the movement of languages here, the languages of creation, and then the language that came after that was revealed to man, which was Ge'ez. And now it gives a total invalidation to what other people claim, that Israel had a name, or the creation had a language of creation, and that the Israelites became a Hebrew-speaking people, which is not true. Excuse me. Which is not true. The original language of creation that was at creation really in this book, which predates the Genesis of the Bible, was Suba. So it became what we would call in our great history a tremendous language transition, and say that it was from Suba to Ge'ez. Yes, from Suba to Ge'ez. This will be a direct opposition or contrary to what somebody says it was Aramaic to Hebrew. No. From Suba to Ge'ez. This book gives us some words in Suba and how those words became prominent in Ge'ez, and what did they look like? What was the terminology? What was the lexicon? And what was the writing? Yeah, what was the dynamic about the languages? Yeah, so this book explains the envisioning of 7 heavens and the envisionings of 100 worlds. When we say 100 worlds, we are talking about something that we would call planets. So the whole manifestation of creation and the astronomy of the whole cosmic is 100 worlds and 7 heavens. So this book explains that and comes back to Adam Eli. That was his name before he ate a fruit and a herb and the roots of a plant called Belesa or Belesi. So the interpretation of the plant is not very clear, because it's like, or the translation of the name Belesi in Ge'ez and Suba is not understood, because it is sort of like translated as a fig tree, but that is not exactly a fig tree. So there was difficulty in translating the name of the plant from the original language of Suba and Ge'ez to what we would relate to better in this day. So it was very difficult to explain which one it is. So this was the paperback format of this book of creation. It's a knockout, because it tells you the stories you've never heard in any Bible, in any scriptures, in the Hebrew Bible, Masoretic, Greek Septuagint, and all these things do not have this information. We are the only people on earth that have released a book like this from our guest scrolls that talks about the things that happened before the creation that we think we know. So therefore, it gives the stories correctly that were given in the book of Genesis and Deuteronomy and all that, Greek Old Testament, and puts them straight. For example, the case of Kami, because that man was not called Ham. He was not Ham. He was Kami, Kemi. When you say Kemi, you mean like unto, similar to, like something. It's a comparison. It's similarity. It's a word that means like this, like unto, similar to. Yes, Kame, Keme. That was his name. And then they say Ham. No, it's not Ham. Ham is something else. So therefore that was Kemi, and the case of Kemi is explained here. They keep on lying about him, saying he was cast, and then he did this, he did this. The story of Kami here is very clear, and it's not what you have read in other books, like the book of Genesis or whatever you call it, which is not Better Israel. So therefore, in Better Israel, the story is put right. It's put straight. We're so proud to know that. We're so proud. We are boasting that we have the true story from our origins, from our history, from our lineage. We are not hearing from Bibles written by other people. Yes. So this is the book that puts the story correctly. It will tell you about the creation. The earth was called Elida, and the descendants of the earth were called Elidawiani. And Adam was not created in the Garden of Eden. No. He was created in Elida, the land of Elida. And then, after he was created in the land of Elida, then he was taken to the third heavens earth called Edomi, which became Ganat Edomi, which means the paradise of Edomi. Edomi was the world or a planet of the third heaven, Yeru. It had only one planet, yes, called Edomi. And so the garden, it's not a garden really, it is a paradise, was called Ganat or Ganati in Gez and Suba. And therefore he was taken there so that he can be like unto us heavenly bodies. Wow! He ascended to the third heavens world called Edomi, and Edomi itself and the third heaven is like one thing. It's a heaven and a world on its own, because it doesn't have any other world except Edomi. Yes. In the next book that we will release, we will explain that this third heaven, Edomi, which is the world of Edomi, is a heaven and is a world on its own, itself, descended to the earth eventually. But Adam was taken to heavenly bodies of Edomi before, which is the third heaven, Yeru. Yeah, so this is just an example of what you can find here. Yes, this is the this is the paperback, sorry, of the book, and then the hard copy has a little bit of a different design here to highlight the name of the book, the title of the book properly. As you can see here, the Book of the Great Army of Eli Amlak, which is the creator. It's a book of our Sena astronomy about 3 suns, 4 moons, 7 heavens, 100 worlds, and 10,000 stars. As you can see here, we try to depict the pictures and the images of the planets. It's an amazing book. No one has ever read. This book has never been translated in the English language. It's the first time in history that we release a book like this from our guest scrolls in English. Salam to all children of Israel. You need to get a copy of this book to read. Even some of the stories that you have read from Genesis, Deuteronomy, and other have been put straight here, corrected properly from the progenitors of the story. Yes, the scrolls were found in Ethiopia from our people, and we translated them to English from Gez. So we are not looking at any other source except the source of the Gez scrolls, written on goat skin parchment. Salam, salam to all children of Israel. Get yourself a copy of this book and tell your story and say, I have read the real story of what happened in ancient times. What was the pre-creation story? Is it Genesis? No. This is just snippets. The real story is here. What happened? The names of the angels are here. The names of the cherubs are here. Yes. Thank you very much. The link is below this video to get this book. Salam, salam to all children of Israel. We are proud to present the literature of Israel. Salam, salam. Salam, lele kulukun.